Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen, friends and family. Welcome back to Misfits Racing League action. We are here on a Monday evening for the Americas Tier 2 Racing Division, and it is time for round 4. We're going to Spa-Francorchamps. It is the Ardennes Forest-based iconic circuit for the Belgian Grand Prix, and I'm thoroughly excited for this one as we already saw 22 laps of thrilling racing for our Tier 4 division earlier in the afternoon for those in North America, and of course earlier this evening wherever you may be joining us over in the UK or Central Europe. Now, with that said, it is time to take a look at this iconic circuit. It is, again, Spa-Francorchamps here in Belgium. 19 turns, 7 kilometers is the track distance. My oh my, what a thrilling circuit. We didn't really get to see it represented super well this season in F1, but man oh man has it held some iconic races and been host to some iconic moves as well. Of course, this is the 4th round of racing in Belgium. Next week we head on over to Italy to take part around Monza in some serious speed around the Temple of Speed. Following that, we head on over to Japan, Britain, Azerbaijan, Hungary, Singapore, France, Austria, Mexico, as well as the finale in Brazil. And with that, let's take a look at our standings jumping into round 4 of the division. And man oh man, has it been a tight one so far. Dieg Surf in the Alfa Romeo. He is currently in lead of things with 10 points over Henners. It's actually a total of 50 for the Alfa at the top of the Drivers' Championship. And what a start it's been for all of the racers realistically. Let's just take a look at this. Henners 40 points behind him. It's 12 points for Vlad Putin to try and get himself there, and he's tied with Johnny Disco. Then 2 points behind you have Graz, and that's rounding out your top 5. As well in the top 10 we have Jimsy, Larkin, Sidewinder, Wordad, Captain Miner, and then we have Thrills, Combined, Gauzieg. 4 points for all of these racers. It's just great to see such tight racing already in the first 3 rounds. If you look at the Constructors' Championship, 75 points for Alfa Romeo, 52 for Williams, 51 points for McLaren. So there is only 1 point separating those two teams, and Red Bull is not too far behind either. So a very good championship, really heating up here already into the 4th round of racing, and I am very, very excited. Now, one thing to mention with this race, again, last week in Russia, we saw some rain. Very, very heavy rain. In the Netherlands, we saw some rain as well. Are we going to go 3 for 3 with the rain? That is a big question, and I have wanted to know the answer since we saw rain last week and finished out the campaign in Sochi. But of course, if you are ready to go racing, we are just about ready. And, well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. My name's Stryfium here from Canada, and I'll be your voice of the race this evening in a solo occasion. Letting Mr. Gauzieg know that we are good to go anytime, and I know some drivers not wanting the rain, some drivers are. I'm sure there are some drivers who excel in the rain over others, but then again, maybe this grid just needs a break and they need a dry affair. We'll have to see how things go on the roll of the dice as we jump in and get all of our drivers into this lobby. A really good race earlier in Tier 4. We saw Polypunk take pole position with a 140.9, not a 104. That would be very quick. 140.9. And we later saw Appa take the race win with Matt and, escaping me for a quick moment here. Why am I losing it? Matt was on the podium, and it was Trick Sam, of course. Trick Sam and him, they had a little bit of a desync, but it was Mr. Matt who ended up claiming 2nd position in that race after he had qualified in 2nd position for that race also. So we saw a safety car in the Tier 4 campaign as well. The replay is going to be out on YouTube tomorrow, and you'll be able to catch that action should you wish. Alrighty, so apparently we are going to be forming up a new lobby. And so we're at a bit of a slight delay. If you haven't had a chance yet to catch out any of the action from, of course, the previous 3 rounds, all of the replays and highlights are on the YouTube channel. Take a look at the calendar again as we can look at some of the dates for racing. Next week we'll be heading to Italy for 6 rounds of intensity for all of our racing divisions, and then following that, Japan, once again Britain, Azerbaijan, Hungary, Singapore. Everybody getting back into the lobby once again now, as we'll be soon into the qualifying. 18 minutes of qualifying as well. Alrighty. I do believe we have all of our racers into the session. Alright, now we are finally getting ourselves loaded in to Spa. It's time for qualifying. Oh, am I ever excited for this. 18 minutes is about to begin. And all of these 20 races are going to have an opportunity to get themselves their fastest effort across to get their best possible starting position. My name is Stryfium. Well, here it is, round 4 of the Americas Tier 2 Division. We've had some thrilling races come out of the division so far, I have to say. 2 of the last races being wet. I'm wondering what we'll see today for the weather roll, and it's clear skies here in the qualifying. We'll have to see what things look like in the race, and I'm sure someone will be very rapid into the chat to let us know how things are shaping up, because everybody has their eyes as to whether or not it will rain, because it seems to have been a curse for the grid so far. Apparently it is going to be. Mr. Cotters has come across to tell us it is going to be dry and dry. So a little bit of a sigh of relief from a good chunk of this grid. Who will be first out of the pit lane? We will check with that in a moment. It looks like it will be. Did Jack 5 get the camera time? It looks like he did. So, Jack 5, first driver out of the pit lane here in the Aston Martin. As we ride along with him, I will take you through who is racing this evening. Of course, at the top of the timing tower through to the bottom, we have Hanners in the Williams, Gazieg in the Haas, Dieg Surf in the Alfa Romeo. He is currently leading this championship. Captain Minor, 4th position on the timing tower. He is in the Mercedes. We have combined YouTuber in the partnering Alfa. Jack 5, as mentioned, he is currently 6th on the timing tower. We'll see what he's able to do here in the qualifying as he's the first out on track. Confident for today. Dang Woo, he's here for Alpine. Larkin on the grid. He is in the Merc. We have Cheery in the Ferrari. Mr. Spanini rounds out 10 drivers so far. Sidewinder with a bit of a bug. Hopefully we can get him back in. Vlad Putin, Sidewinder. Wordad, we have Duffeld in the partnering Aston Martin. Paula Brady is here in the AlphaTauri. Of course, having a very good season thus far, I have to say. Winning driver of the day in the first race of the season. Johnny Disco, of course, the McLaren. Who can forget? He had a very, very up and down few races, and he was in a very good running position last week as well. We saw Graz. He's been doing some good driving this season. He is in the Ferrari. Waffalorian here with us in the Haas as well. Mr. Victor Diaz. And, well, a name that I haven't seen in a good chunk of time, but I'm happy to see on the grid with us today. It is Mr. J. Forsai returning to the Americas Division Racing. And I was happy to share the track with him last season in Tier 1. And we had some thrilling battles, I have to say. So I'll be looking forward to seeing him here on circuit. Mr. Jack 5 taking us through a flyer into La Sauce as we come through Spa. Welcome. Blowing up one of my favorite sections of circuit, and who could not like it? Eau Rouge now threw up Radion, and there's a big slide from Jack. Does he get it rotated in out of the wall? Man, he's showing us the dangers of that section very early on here. Henners will show him how it's done instead. Henners pushing on the medium compound tires in the Williams. He will come down through the Kemmel straight into Lacombe, and he will set that first sector purple. However, there is another flyer behind him. That is Mr. Graz in the Ferrari. Coming down the hill now, coming through down Poulon. Very careful not to take too much of these curbs as you come down the hill, as they can unsettle your car to the point of retirement. You can most definitely find yourself in a wall should you not be careful. Yellow flags, you're going to see a variety of them popping up through the session. They are, I'm going to say it, they're a nuisance in these qualifying sessions. They pop up so much, and they cover off your timing clock on the top left. All right, Henners to the line now. That's going to be a 42.319. Who will cross next? Graz, that 41.836 was done on the softs. A good run from him. Of course, to mention, Polypunk earlier in the Tier 4 division, he had set a 140.9 for pole position. So these drivers just getting started if we have any pace in comparison to the Tier 4 division. And I know for a fact that we'd most definitely do. Off Lorian, 43.1 coming from him. He's in the Haas this evening. Spanini will be coming through the chicane. The Alpine driver will be coming straight through into the pit lane. Wordad, the other Williams. That's on the softs, a 42.052. Jumping his teammate, Mr. Henners. Next driver to the line, Mr. Captain Miner, 42.675. Captain Miner and Henners not too far apart on track right now on this grid. As you may remember, in the Netherlands, they had a bit of a scrap. Wordad comes through, a 42.052. Unless that might have been Mr. Vlad Putin. It was Vlad Putin that had come through, excuse me. Jay Forsai on the rear of Paula. Johnny Disco separates the AlphaTauris with a 43.4 on the softs. Both AlphaTauris on the medium. Victor Diaz is through in the McLaren. He's done a medium run. Dig Surf invalidating 2 runs now that we have seen in that one car and on that one set of tire. We just saw Dangwu cross the line with a 42.829. Of course, if you're enjoying the stream, if you're enjoying the qualifying, or if you're just ready for some great racing, all you got to do, well, share that stream. Let me know in the chat. and it's going to be a great, great time here in Spa. Cheery, 7th quickest, a 43.177, or sorry, a 117, as I made a slip up there. Duffeld in the Aston Martin, pushing down the hill. A lot of drivers really pushing on these mediums in qualifying, and I'm curious to see as to why. Everybody potentially getting a first run in. We were told things are dry, and I don't see why you'd want to qualify on anything other than softs here in Spa. That's what we saw in the Tier 4 division, and Unicorn had mentioned the importance of getting a good qualifying time here on that soft compound tire. Duffeld now. Let's see. Well, Johnny Disco, excuse me, we're going to jump on with the McLaren real brief as he set a 41.626. Duffeld, does he have an answer? We haven't seen anything come out of the Aston Martin just yet. It's going to be good for the front row. A 41.797. A very nice run there, and he jumps right onto the rear of that McLaren by a very tight margin. The separation is just shy of 0.2 right now between the two of them, and that might have been Gauzier beginning a flyer. Not sure if there was any kind of impediment, but this will surely impede him. He's gone into the wall. Come on, YouTuber flying in the Alfa Romeo. Very unfortunate to see Gauzier lose it coming up the hill. He had a bit of an unsettlement, I imagine, on the rear of Duffeld coming up the hill. Now we have combined YouTuber here in the Alfa Romeo to set a time. The Australian, what's he got in it? Good run from him. It's a very, very solid time. Really good into P6 there, 42.224. And he'll be happy with that for his first run. We're just about halfway through here in the session. Spinini moving up the hill has run an invalidated time. Larkin has begun. Gauzier, we already saw him spin. He will not be doing anything about that. And surely Duffeld and Disco will be on the way in. Furious rear wing wide open. We come through into Lacombe, and things can get real tricky through here if you are wheel to wheel coming out of Kemmel, most definitely, and we saw it earlier in Tier 4. Saw one driver come real loose through there. I'm trying to remember who it was exactly. Might have been XTXP. Ooh, a little bit too much of that inside, and we see now Larkin go round. He's in the gravel. There is one driver coming on a run by him. That was not combined. It was Dieg Surf on an outlap, and Dieg Surf, notably, he is the championship leader. No time yet, and we'll see him begin a lap shortly to try and do something about Johnny or Duffeld at the top end of this grid. Let's take a look now. Big Surf starts. Larkin, however, finishing. It's coming into the pit lane. Bonini on the move. Jack 5 is on the move. Sidewinder. Invalidation from him. Could be doing a little bit of warming through this section. Maybe starting another lap. Not a lot of ERS in it right now. He hasn't used any of that battery. Want to see if he begins a lap and we can check back in. Yeah, he is going to start a lap. We'll jump with Dieg Surf. He's still valid. That's good to see. Graz on an improved lap right now. He'll be coming across the line very soon here. Alrighty, here we have it. Graz now coming out of the chicane, out of turn 19, pushing to the line. Does he go pole? Yes, he does. It's a 41.603 for the Ferrari. Provisional pole position. Who will be next to the line? That was Jack 5. The Aston Martin pushing a 43.260. The gap from first to 10th, 1.5. First to 7th is 7 tenths. Spanini moving into that half-second range as well. That's a good striking distance for the Alpine squad, as well as they have 2 drivers right now in the top 10. We'll see how that gets shaken up as Paula has begun and Jay is on the run in the AlphaTauris. Who will be next through? That's Dieg Surf. We talked about him. He comes through a 41.302. He jumps 3 tenths in front of Graz right now, and he is showing us why he is the championship leader in this division. Word out on the way into the pit lane. We have a Mercedes crossing the line, and that is going to be Captain Minor beginning a lap as Vlad Patin, a 41 flat coming out of the Red Bull. What a run, and that's a 3/10 jump on Dieg Surf. Henners. Oh my, that's 0.03 of a second in separation for the Williams and the Red Bull. Very good run there coming out of Henry. He is going to be laughing about that and very, very excited. Should that stand him on the front row? He did not have high expectations here. Now Jay Forsai goes 6th quickest, and I mentioned he did take part in the Tier 1 division last season. He does have some ability, some very, very quick ability behind the wheel of that AlphaTauri. A lot of times coming through right now. We had just seen, I believe, Paula cross the... No, it was not Paula. What was that crossed the line right there? That Waffalorian. I believe it was. Yeah, it was Waffalorian. Paula Brady. Very nice run there. We just caught the tail end of it, a 41.932. Things tightened up in the grid right now. Separation first to, we'll call it 12th position, 1.2 seconds, 1.1. You've got Word at Spanini separated by 300ths. You have Vlad Patin and Henners separated by 300ths. Graz and Disco separated by, man, there are tight margins all over this grid, I have to say. Who was that just crossed the line? That was finally Mr. Gauzieg in the Haas. A 43.245 will be the time set from him as we are drawing now down to the final stages of this session. Will Larkin get a lap through here? We have 3.5 minutes remaining on our clock. Jay Forsai, Paula on the way in. Waffalorian with a 142.166 on his way into the pit lane. Low fuel light is on. Dangwu has begun a lap. I think Cheery as well is on a flyer. Taking a look right now, Cheery as he comes down the hill. A little bit of a slip there on the exit. You saw that front end just get loose, and now we come down through Pouin. Hopefully he's able to set himself a nice improvement. See what he finds as he is about to make his way through the 2-3 split. Where's the improvement? What's he been able to find, ladies and gentlemen? He has found a second, and that is massive. That could put him, if he was to get an exact second right now, it could put him into a very good position starting 11th in this race. Give him a very good benefit to an opportunity to run that alternate strategy. Here we have it now to the line. The Ferrari is going to find 1.3 all the way into 8th position. Good run there. And he'll be happy with that, no doubt. More drivers coming through to get laps started. Combined YouTuber. He is now coming through turn 1. Who else can we jump on with? Dang Wu coming to the line. I do believe he is just about to begin a lap. So many drivers active on circuit right now. Jack 5 has begun. Victor Diaz is on the move through into Lacombe in the McLaren. He has found nearly 3/10 through into Sector 2. So many active runners right now. You love to see the track busy. Captain Minor on the move. We'll jump with Cheery as he comes down the hill. I think he dropped the lap. He's out of fuel there. Well, excuse me, I'm losing my mind as he just set that lap. He's on an in-lap, of course. So many active runners right now combined. Coming through Blanchemont. Not a lot of time left in this session. Spanini's crash, that's just coming out of Eau Rouge. We're going to take a look in just a second. One of the AlphaTauris is going to take a look. Combined to the line, 6th position, half a second gain of 41.707. Now we're going to take a look as, well, Jay Forsyth just passed. Paula now coming up the hill to the right-hand side or the left-hand side. We're not going to see it. I think it might have been the right, but that is going to be Spanini out of the session. Paula on the move. Jay Forsyth on the move. So many flyers now. We're going to see if we can catch them as they come through. Here we have Captain Minor straight into the pit lane. Graz is going to come to the line. Dieg Surf, excuse me, a 40.9. Graz will not get himself out of 4th position. He'll find nearly half a second. Henners coming through for England, a 40.759. Vlad Putin, does he have an answer? The Red Bull to the line. What's it gonna be? It's pole position here in Spa, a 40.616. Does anybody have an answer? Johnny Disco does not. Jay Forsyth will not. Duffeld goes 41.3. Very, very, very good run there. Who comes through next? That was going to be Sidewinder, and the Charging Bulls are 1-5 as things stand. A 41.186 for 303. And my, oh my, do we ever have ourselves a race here at the top end. Very, very good running. Very good running. Who else can come through? Paula will be coming through into the pit lane, and that is going to wrap up our qualifying session here ahead of round 4. Belgian Grand Prix action for our America's Tier 2 MRL Racing. Alrighty. Let me know in the chat if you're excited for this one, who you've got potentially winning this race. It is a Canadian on pole position here in Spa. It is the Red Bull. A 40.6 was the pole time, beating out the pole time from our earlier Tier 4 racing, which was a 40.9. Henners there within a 10.5. We have Dieg Surf rounding out the top 3, and of course it is Dieg Surf in that Alfa Romeo who is presently leading this Drivers' Championship, and Henners there within 10 points of that. So things very intense, between the top end of this grid. And as we go down all the way to 10th position, it is 1.2 the separation. Welcome to Belgium. We've been tipped off it's going to be a dry weather running, and well, this Tier 2 Americas division has been waiting for it for some time, as they saw our last 2 rounds wet running. So they had Bahrain, which surely could only be dry, and then they got the real, well, short end of the stick, as it will, for rounds 2 and 3. Not many of the other grids had the rain dynamics that this grid has already faced. So coming through into Spa, I'd say they're quite prepared for a circuit that definitely can present challenges for racers. We saw it present challenges for racers in Tier 4. We saw it present challenges for racers in our endurance race just a couple weeks ago. So welcome to the Ardennes Forest. Welcome to Spa-Francorchamps. My name is Stryfium here from Canada, and well, I hope you're ready for action, because it's about to be 22 laps of just straight up intensity, as we have one of the most iconic racing circuits, not just in Formula 1, but in the world, period. So it is about to be a very, very epic evening. One red light, and it is now dark as we go into formation, taking you through this grid. At the top end of the spear, once again, in the Red Bull, Vlad Putin. On the front row, starting next to him, the Williams Henners. Second row, we have Mr. Dieg Surf and Graz. Through then, we have the third row of Mr. Sidewinder 303 and Duffeld in the Aston Martin. Johnny Disco, combined YouTuber, 7th and 8th respectively. Jay Forsai, here in his debut on a full-time capacity, has jumped into the top 10 as he takes 9th in the AlphaTauri. Cheery will round out the top 10. All these drivers on the soft compound tires, and he is in the Ferrari. Paula in 11th position, opting for the medium compound, as we have Larkin right behind her on that 6th row with the softs. Wordad again on the mediums. Spanini in 14th on the softs. And then we have Wafalorian down through Captain Minor, Jack 5, Deng Wu, Gazieg, and Victor Diaz, all on the medium compound sets. With that said, things have been pegged dry here. Things have been tipped off as we're going to have a full dry running. I will say this with extreme caution, however. Things looking pretty grim. Things looking pretty dark and overcast. Should we see a safety car can extend a race in Spa by quite a duration, considering the average lap time around here is in the mid to low 140s. With that said, you may just see rain at the tail end of a Belgian Grand Prix, and I have seen it before in one of our MRL races, so fingers crossed we get maybe some dry running, maybe some wet running. Medium compound tires for majority of the back 10. Of course, we mentioned Larkin on the softs with Spanini in the Alpine. They'll be looking to get some early position, try to get themselves into a soft running train. If they don't, they will become, well, susceptible to overtaking from the mediums. There isn't a major tire wear here around Spa. There isn't a major level of pace differential between the softs and mediums once they really kind of get worn in and going, I have to say, from what we saw in Tier 4, because it's just a very fast-flowing racing circuit, and it's about, I think, how you execute a lot of these turns properly. I mean, of course, the tires do play a massive role, but you really need to know what you're doing here around Spa. Now, all cars to the line. Victor Diaz there at the back end of the grid. And we are just about ready to go racing here as the lights come on. 3, 4, 5 red lights here in the Ardennes Forest. It's the Belgian Grand Prix, and we are away racing. Vlad Putin, a great launch off the line. Dieg Surf with a really good push already ahead of Graz. And who's this up the inside? Sidewinder making things really intense off the launch as he has made his way into 4th position. The Ferrari. Wow, he had no answer for that. That's a very good position taken from him. And now we've got a big issue at the rear end of the grid. It's a Ferrari at the rear end. Mr. Cheery has dropped back. However, no one looking like they have too much of a shake-up, coming up Eau Rouge now. Graz Sidewinder through now into Lacombe out of Kemmel Straight. They're wheel to wheel still. The McLaren. Johnny Disco has the front row seat. Look at the Red Bull on the inside. Here goes Disco looking for the Ferrari. He's coming through on the inside. Does he get him already? Graz holding with absolutely everything he's got, and Duffeld's there too. Graz dropping like a stone through this timing tower right now. And now we've had another issue. Gazieg, Dengwu, looks like there's been contact. There's a yellow flag through Sector 2. Dengwu, neither driver have any visible damage. Vlad Putin leading this race ahead of Henner's. Dieg Surf dropping just shy of a second on the rear. Man, oh man, have things ever gone explosive on this race start, I have to say. A couple drivers losing positions. Jay Forsyth's back 2, combined back 1. Graz dropped like a stone back 3 positions, and Cheery, well, he had that issue at the start of things, but we'll just have to see how this circuit flows ahead. Johnny Disco's in close proximity with Duffeld on his rear end. One thing to note, Paula Brady with a great launch here from 11th position on the medium compound tires into 8th, holding well in this train. As we now begin the second lap, Vlad Putin holds the torch. Timing tower up to a little bit of antics right now. We'll get things sorted hopefully in a few moments, but we'll try to keep you parked with all the action. Everybody in tight formation right now. There's been a yellow flag. Something's happened. That's Spanini. He's had an issue coming up through Eau Rouge. I think that may just be a safety car. No retirements. No debris from what I can see on that car either. And that is just a very, very wild issue to find yourself in at the top of the hill. No damage. But I have to say, if there is truly no damage, we've seen issues with that display before. You have to find yourself lucky in that situation. Jack 5 right now, Cheery. There's an exchange between the Ferrari and the Aston Martin, as I think Jack 5 is struggling. He's under major threat right now as Waffalorian is pushing him. Johnny Disco and Duffeld are exchanging. Jump on with them as Graz. What's happened here? Johnny Disco. I don't know what the heck is going on there with Johnny. He's desynced, so Johnny's had an issue. He's either desynced or he's disconnected. Hopefully we'll be able to get him back in, but you can clearly see a red X right now. Jay Forsyth, with view of that McLaren, is going to be looking to push through, and they can't see him. They can't see him. He's left the session, so he's out. His car sitting in now 9th position. That's very interesting to see. And that's just something you hate to see. Alrighty, now we've got Paula on the hunt for Graz. DRS is now in effect for these racers as we come up through Kemmel. Sidewinder will have the first crack potentially. The gap is not even remotely representative of what it actually is right now. Duffeld and Graz get their exchanging going on. We've had an issue coming up Eau Rouge. That is going to be Victor Diaz, and that is off to the right-hand side. The virtual safety car has been deployed. The terminal retirement. DSC should be coming offline any moment now. It's very unfortunate to see a retirement already in the session. We are only 3 laps, soon to be 4 laps in to the session. Here we go. DRS has been enabled. Fortunately, none of the drivers have gotten any drive-through penalties. That is always a factor of concern when you're under a VSC or any safety car, to be fair. Timing's not even remotely giving us the proper representation just yet. Combined and Larkin wheel to wheel through the bus stop chicane right now. That is the inside for the Mercedes. A little bit of a push off there. The Alfa Romeo, Larkin, and combined, they are locked together. It's offs for both. Surely it's going to be DRS here. I wonder if we see the exchange. Just behind them, Jay Forsai hunting down Disco. Wordad's in on that. Here comes Combine. What a move. Yeah, just easy as you like. No, it's not easy as you like. They got too close to braking. Larkin holds it, and I have to say it's a nice hold. Jay Forsai. Johnny Disco has dropped not one but two positions. Wordad making it real tough. What's happened here? Vlad Putin has spun as he comes down the hill through Puan. That is the race leader. Now dropping positions. There's Graz. Wheel to wheel going around the outside of Vlad Putin, who's going to have a ton of temperature in these tires right now. Too much temperature to really operate at an effective level. And you can see Duffeld right now just sitting in the rearview mirror of this car. There's a bit of contact. Duffeld showing so much pace, pushing to this inside. Vlad Putin was leading this race moments ago. And say bye-bye. There goes Duffield. Johnny Disco, Captain Minor in the same section of circuit, just behind a few moments in there. In a wheel-to-wheel lock battle. Johnny Disco pushing ahead of Captain Minor. Captain Minor wants this position. Vlad Putin has called it straight into the pit lane very, very early on here. Cheery, ooh, he is also going to get Johnny Disco. Johnny Disco has dropped quite a number of positions in the last lap. Take a look overall. He's dropped 6 positions since he began this race, and he is yet to pit. Vlad Putin now pitting. Dig Surf looking at Henners. Nothing doing just yet. Cheery on the outside, inside, excuse me, as we come down Kemmel through into Lacombe. He will dispatch Captain Minor. Duffeld wheel to wheel with Graz. We're coming down the hill. This is intense, and that is going to be Duffeld getting through on the Ferrari. Paula with a great carry of speed, looking for the inside as we charge down the hill. Coming through into Puan. Graz a little bit later on the brakes, and we've had a retirement in the pit lane coming out of the Aston Martin garage. It's Jack 5 out of this race. Very intense battle right now unfolding on the rear of this Ferrari as it's Paula, Brady with Larkin, and combined in quite close proximity. Larkin and Paula, the closer of the two. We see it now. Paula looking at that inside. A later lunge on the brakes there. Through for the AlphaTauri. A very, very tight move for Paula. And I gotta say, nicely done there from Paula Brady in the AlphaTauri. Get in there. And Larkin now looking on the rear of the Ferrari. Ooh. Larkin combined. Tight, tight, tight. The Alfa Romeo looking for a way through. Paula doing a lot of work on these mediums in great position from where she began in 11th. Dieg Surf, Henners, there's contact. There goes Dieg Surf. Sidewinders just barely missed him. How does Duffeld navigate it? Dieg Surf looking to get going again. Man, oh man, is that not what you want to see? And that is now the Alfa Romeo's 7 and 8 instead of having Dieg Surf in a fight for this race win. Paula Brady under threat from Larkin, holding 5th position. A 5-second penalty for Paula Brady due to ignoring a yellow, and I have to say that's probably as a result of something that happened in with that spin, and that might be removable later down the line. What a battle we're seeing for this 4th position right now. It really is all in it for this 4th, and it's a 2-second gap and growing for Graz to Duffeld. And if you're any of the drivers in the top 3, I think Duffeld most especially, you're happy. Graz, Paula, now Graz on the inside defending from the AlphaTauri. Paula pushing on the mediums. There goes Graz. A bit of a snap off the curbing. Larkin's through as well, and there goes Dieg Surf. That is just not the kind of snap you want to have, and I have to say, he is so fortunate to have saved that car. I'm shocked he was able to save that car at such a high speed. The leaders, Henners, into the pit lane. Sidewinder has followed him in that Red Bull. We'll have to see where they drop out. Henners on the way out of the pit lane right now. Does he come out in some fresh air, or does he have some serious traffic to work through? It's actually 1.7 and growing the gap to him on Cheery. Paula Brady under threat from Larkin. There goes the Mercedes through into 2nd position, clear as day. Uh-oh, Paula Brady with a big issue. Oh, no, Paula Brady, a big slide catching the grass, and it was just not a lot doable there for the AlphaTauri. And what a brilliant race it was for Paula. Has just gone, and it has crumbled to such a degree, and I feel very terrible for the AlphaTauri right now. Trying to get things back on track. Once you feel that grass, things are tough. Very, very tough, to say the least. Of course, lap 7 out of 22, ladies and gentlemen. The action is only about a quarter of the way there. We're just over that quarter mark. We're almost at the halfway. We're getting there. It's a 22-lap race, 22-lap campaign. Paula Gazieg exchange now. Take a look at combined. Some Aussie fans in the chat. We have Nicow in with us this evening. I imagine cheering on his fellow countrymen as combined. A very, very capable driver. Normally you see him in a Ferrari. Today he's in the junior car, if you will want to call it that. The Alfa Romeo. Jay Forsai and Werdad. What's happened there? Werdad's taken Jay Forsai, it would appear. Now you've got an Alfa Romeo 1-2 once again, as it looks like these drivers going long on the softs. Jay Forsai on the rear of Werdad. DRS in it right now. Battery and utilization right now. Werdad has a great run on the rear of combined. It's mediums versus softs. A great carry of speed here for the Williams. Combined a little bit later on the brakes, trying to hold well. Werdad has spun on the curbing. There's been a touch of contact for combined. Jay Forsai is trying to navigate his way through. Man. What? Wow. That is just wild scenes. And I mentioned we had seen something similar in the Tier 4 division. Man. I have to say, it's been a thrilling race, though. Let us know who you've had your eyes on in the chat, who your favorite is once again. Vlad Putin right now. He was leading this race for a time. Started on pole position. He's gone for a significant undercut with these medium compound tires as a result of a spin. Right now, Sidewinder's looking the wrong way. 5-second penalty being awarded to him after a severe collision with the Ferrari. Henners and Jay Forsai. There's an exchange. Henners on the medium compound tires. Man, oh man, has he ever had a stunning race. He is in lead of this race provisionally. Combined, going for a double stack with Dieg Surf, and this is going to be this is not good at all. That is not good at all. Combined is about to get double stacked with Dieg Surf. Henners in lead of this race. Fresh mediums for him, 2.5 seconds the gap. Who's going to be able to stop him? I think only he is going to be able to stop him. Henners needs to have a consistent run to the end of this one. And I think the only thing that might throw a monkey wrench in it for him at this point could very well be a safety car. Let's take a look now. Vlad Putin with the DRS with the battery in utilization. He is flying down the rear of Larkin, just in front of them. Werdad on the rear of Waffalorian. Is he going to go for it? No. Most definitely not enough in it yet for Mr. Vlad Putin. We have Gazieg on the rear. We've got Sidewinder on the rear. We've got Combined YouTuber on the rear. He's going to have the beautiful view. It's 3 wide coming into Lacombe. Gazieg in 10th position. Sidewinder coming through. Jay Forsai gets mugged. Man, oh man, was that ever beautiful, and nobody came out of it with damage. And that's Gazieg through into 10th position. Sidewinder fighting him just in front. Gazieg is going to drop back. It's older tires for him, and he is very, very vulnerable. But I have to say that was some thrilling racing. Find YouTuber the freshest tires with the exception of Jay Forsai here. Gazieg holding everybody up as Sidewinder potentially has the opportunity to pull a gap, which is crucial. Johnny Disco has really latched himself in here. Big snap from him. He nearly goes sidewards. Combined with a great exit. The Egg Surf. Vlad Putin. Tight. Vlad Putin on the older rubber. There is so much action in this race. It's been thrilling. It really has been thrilling. Here goes Jay Forsai. Gazieg. Nothing in it just yet. Jay Forsai. He's got so much more traction. Does he have an opportunity through into turn 1 early on? Look at this group. They are so tight. 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. Everybody's so tight. And surely Jay Forsai has a crack. We're not going to see it just yet. Waffalorian under threat. There it is for 3rd position. Nothing doing just yet. Back on over to Vlad Putin and Dieg Surf. Dieg Surf moving through on the Red Bull. A bit of a snap. He gets things pulled on back. Jay Forsai on the rear of Gazieg is going to muscle his way through into 11th position with ease. And there goes Gazieg Combined YouTuber. I thought there might have even been an exchange there. There is so much action. I love it. I love it. What a great race. What a great race. Combined dispatching Gazieg. Johnny Disco is going to be here as well. Spinini bringing himself into the train. Johnny Disco getting loose, and that was very touch and go. You don't want to be doing that too many times, do you? Definitely not. Look at this train, man. We're on lap 10, soon to be 11. Gazieg, Johnny Disco. Gazieg, he needs to get in now. There's been an issue. Spinini has spun. Spinini has spun. That is interesting how you say that. But here we have Larkin, Werdad. Ooh, Larkin with a big lunge coming around the outside of the Williams. And who's got the front row seat? It's Dieg Surf as Larkin pushes through into 5th position. Werdad, does he have an answer? No. On the inside, I thought there was surely going to be a little bit of contact under the rear of that Haas. Look at Werdad go. He's launched it in front of the Haas. Look at this action. Dieg Surface through on Vlad Putin. Vlad Putin wheel to wheel with the Alfa Romeo. We're coming up through a Rouge. The Alfa Romeo has to drop off the rear of the Red Bull. And man, oh man, how does anybody make it up there like that? Larkin is going to drop to Werdad, and this racing is really come undone, and it is epic. Wow. Beautiful. Combined right now, still with Jay Forsai. A very tight battle, a very tight duel unfolding between the pair of them as Johnny Disco sits and waiting for any opportunities that may come. Werdad with Vlad Putin hunting him down, and Spinini unfortunately has called it in the pit lane. There goes Werdad. He's spun it coming down Pouon. He's gone into the wall, and there is no visible damage, but surely that is going to cost him dearly as Graz now in the Ferrari will be looking to take a position on the Williams. The Williams holding it. They're wheel to wheel, but Graz is spun. Graz has spun the Ferrari. I can't believe it. The Red Bull now, Sidewinder on the rear of Werdad. Werdad placed in the circuit, and Sidewinder can't even get through. Man, this race has just been the race that keeps on giving. We're just crossing into the halfway point, and I don't even know where to pay the attention anymore as everybody seems to be getting mixed up into some element of shenanigans here through the race. Everybody coming together, everybody spinning, fighting. What a turbulent, epic, fantastic campaign this has truly been, and I have We haven't really had any drama, knock wood. We really haven't. Truly, combined YouTuber and Jay Forsai are going to break things loose, as Wordad on the 11-lap Old Mediums has been on those tires for the entirety of the campaign, with a few other drivers like Gazieg and Waffalorian, with Captain Miner there at the tip end of the spear. Johnny Disco here with combined, looking at that outside. Gazieg and Cheery get an exchange in as Cheery moves through into 13th position with the very fresh mediums. Jay Forsai, he's pulling the trigger. Wordad under threat right now, coming around the outside as we come down the hill. Does he get this move done? The Alpha Tauri, as we come through down into Puan, combined as the front row seat. This could go south real quick, but it goes north as Jay Forsai pushes ahead of Wordad. My oh my, that was daring, that was beautiful, and he's made it stick. That was a very, very nice move. Tires are not to just take those risks, to take those opportunities. You have to have the big ones to do that. And if you know, you know. Combined YouTuber right now, he's about to find some as well as we come through into the chicane. Wordad under major threat, looking to the inside right now. Combined later on the brakes. There it is. Combined through on the inside. Wordad turning in a little bit early is going to expose him as he goes straight. He goes straight into the pit, literally into the pit lane. Wow, this race. This race has been phenomenal. Of course, if you've been enjoying the race, let me know in the chat. Greatly appreciate any feedback you can give me. I hope you've been enjoying the commentary. If you have, my name's Stryfium here from Canada, and my oh my, what a campaign. Paula Brady pushing through into 16th ahead of Wordad now, 4-lap Old Softs. The Egg Surf takes a 3-second time penalty here at lap 13, and that's not what you want to be doing in this grid at all, especially should you be, well, he is the championship leader. If there should be a safety car, those 3-second penalties, and I've talked about, well, what's happened now? That might just be what I've said. That's a huge collision. Gazieg is out. What happened to Gazieg? That Haas car is out. Nothing. There. Oh, okay. Yep. Safety car. Safety car. I was just about to say how crucial it is to not take a 3-second time penalty due to the result that it could very much present you with a bad dynamic at the end of the race, because it's hard to pull a gap. 3 seconds, safety car bunching up the field. My oh my. Gazieg, the 4th driver to retire out of this race. 16 drivers remaining in it. Henners is in for softs. Everyone's going to be coming in for softs at this point, surely, as it is going to be the quickest tire to the end of this one. Henners behind safety car. Captain Miner is going to be the driver in 2nd position. We saw Henners and Captain Miner dueling it out in the Netherlands. Hopefully we don't see any further drama unfold between the pair. Well, safety car deployed here. We're following it on lap 14. We're going to be back to green flag racing if I'm correct, I think on lap 16. We will be back to green flag racing if everybody catches the grid appropriately and we have no issues, knock wood. We take a look at the position changes in this race under safety car conditions. Henners has made up a slot from the front row, and we have Captain Miner up 14 positions. So we can say that he's had a stellar race. Duffeld, he has made up 3. And those are the top 3 right now, and I have to say, they can change in an instant. We've already seen it happen in this one. Vlad Putin was leading things for a time. He's showing the pace in that Red Bull. He is our pole sitter, having dropped back 3 positions. Diego Surf dropped back 2 positions, and he has one of those penalties I mentioned of 3 seconds, which is going to be very costly should this grid fail to separate enough to net him good points. Larkin, well, it's been a good drive for him, making up 6 positions, and we have Waffalorian up 8 here in a reserve capacity, if I'm not mistaken, over at Haas right now. Jay Forsai, well, it's his debut back in a full-time capacity here in the MRL after last season, and he's been having quite the dynamic drive as well. Up 1 position, all things said and considered. He's on fresh softs to go to the end, and he's been showing some good fighting ability in this grid tonight, so we'll see where he lands himself. Johnny Disco, combined Sidewinder. We've got a great lineup of racers that have been going for now 15 laps, 14 full laps. Johnny Disco taking 3 seconds. I was just mentioning how bad those are. And Johnny Disco says, challenge accepted. I'm going to take one if you don't mind. Of course, if you're new to the stream, thanks for tuning in. We are racing a ton here on the Misfits Racing League channel. This is one of 2 America's Division races. Our second race will be tomorrow night. That is our Tier 1 division. That's at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 2 a.m. for those of you in the UK, or 3 a.m. in Central Europe, wherever you may be joining us, 6 p.m. Pacific. That's our Tier 1 America's division. If you're interested in the European racing action, we have 4 divisions coming to you Monday through Thursday of that. And that all happens at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, of course, 8 p.m. UK, 9 p.m. Central Europe, respectively. So we have 6 full-time racing divisions. There's a ton of great racing. We have the Endurance Series, where we do 100% distance F1 races with damage and strict corners. We have a ton of great action, and you can find all of that by typing !apply, or if you want to get into the community where all the fun begins, !Discord. Of course, massive shout out to our great partners, Fytron Software. They are the premier engine builders tool, and you want to jump into that for, of course, your IRL business, should you have one. It's a great, great tool. Fytron helping out sim racers as well, engine builders. It's a great partnership to see the real world kind of getting into that crossover. Well, we're about to cross the split, ladies and gentlemen, and I had said green flag racing on lap 16. I hope I am not a liar, and we're about to find out as Henners watches this safety car, and the lights have gone dark. Henners is now in charge. So the safety car on the way in. 3 drivers with 3-second time penalties: Diego Surf, Johnny Disco, and Wordad. Henners, you can see, significantly dropping speed on the rear of that safety car. His mission is to significantly slow down this grid at a consistent pace to warm tires and to bring everybody across that line in a safe manner to give us a clean rolling restart here on lap 16. Green flag racing on lap 16. Henners, when does he go? Watching the telemetry. Surely it's as soon as he gets out of turn 19, the chicane. I think he might have gone a little bit earlier there. He's coming through, hammering down, hammering down. Yes, he's gone. How's he caught Captain Minor? He's caught him well. He's nearly a second to separation, and that is not good news if you are a Mercedes fan wanting to see Captain on the top step. What this will do long term, if he can't break it down, well, Duffeld's got his number with the potential DRS. Jay for side, Johnny Disco now. Johnny Disco pushing through into 8th position ahead of Jay. They come up Eau Rouge, things quite tight. Jay on the rear of Johnny, nothing doing just yet, but he is utilizing that battery, trying to find a slipstream and an overtaking opportunity. Duffeld wheel to wheel with Captain Minor. Captain Minor around the outside has Duffeld. Look at Duffeld getting through. Vlad Putin navigating his way through as well. My oh my, Captain Minor not going to be happy about dropping 2 positions and a second and a half to the race leader at all. That is not the restart you want to have. Duffeld is doing work right now in that Aston Martin, and he needs to do even more to break down a 1.6 second gap to the race leader, that is Henners. Johnny Disco on the rear of Waffalorian, 1.4 for Waffalorian to Larkin. There's a bit of a train separation here. 2 trains running now, not one large one. Actually, there's a little bit of a duel going on for Duffeld and Vlad Putin. Captain Miner dropping back on that battle as well. Dieg Surf on the rear of Captain. We want to see as much action as we can right now. Dieg Surf, our championship leader, pushing Captain Miner in the Mercedes. We come through into the chicane, inside line now for Dieg Surf. Later on the brakes, we have the view. And very neat move there. Captain Miner is going to get taken for 4th position. Larkin looking quite quick on the rear of his teammate as well. Johnny Disco, Waffalorian, Johnny Disco pushing very well right now in the McLaren, will take that 7th position. Jay Forsai could very well be next on the rear of Waffle. We'll just have to see. We're going to jump really quick to Vlad Putin. He's coming up the hill on the rear of Duffeld. Duffeld under threat for this 2nd position. No DRS. Excuse me. Yeah, no DRS in the equation just yet. It is going to be the ERS and utilization pushing off to the outside for Vlad. And this could be a little bit of a dance we see lap after lap now for this 2nd position as Henners begins to pull away even further with nearly 2 seconds the gap. We are nearing the end of this race. It is lap 17 out of 22. Chances and opportunities are narrowing. They are slimming down. They are running out for these racers. And everybody needs to get all the moves done they can within these last 5 or so laps. Waffalorian, that penalty. Not what you want to be taking. He's now the 4th driver to have taken a 3-second time penalty. Cheery on the rear of Sidewinder, burning some energy here. Larkin on the rear of Captain Miner. That's the teammates in the Mercedes squad. Do we see anything out of the Ferrari here? If you're going to see it, it could be right here into the chicane. Nothing doing just yet. Jay Forsai with Sidewinder quite tight to his rear. Mediums for Sidewinder. Vlad Putin at 42. 7.84. The fastest lap of the race. Sidewinder on the rear of Jay here. This final points position is where we're seeing this dance happen, and you can see Waffle just ahead. Penalties in it for him. Jay and Sidewinder could very well net positions, but look at that. You can see Sidewinder gets loose. Does this give Cheery does this give him the opportunity? Dieg Surf, Duffeld, they exchange. Larkin, Captain Miner, they exchange. Cheery, Sidewinder, Waffalorian. Man, oh man, Waffalorian holding Jay Forsai with everything he can right now. Jay Forsai very hungry for positions here. He's holding a 9th. He wants to be up from where he began, and given the fact that he has no penalties and for 4 drivers in front of him do at this stage of the race, he may very well net a significant amount of position. It'll just be a question of time telling. Captain Miner and Johnny Disco getting nice and loose as it's Johnny Disco 6th position through on Captain. A little bit of wheel banging, a little bit of hard racing, but it doesn't look like anybody got too out of shape. Cheery in the Ferrari wanting to get points for the Scuderia after dropping a position, his teammate dropping even more so. 8 positions down for where Graz is right now, and that's just not how you want to land things. Wordad, Paula Brady pushing through out of the chicane. A little bit of an exchange as Paula wheel to wheel, fronts to rears as Wordad trying to hold. Wordad on the outside, nothing doing just yet to hold that. No switchback opportunity just yet. Captain Miner on the rear of Johnny Disco. Johnny Disco on the rear of Larkin, but it's going to be a fight for the lead right now. Does Vlad have enough? No, he doesn't. Back to Johnny. He could very well pass Waffle here. Yes, he does. Excuse me, Jay Forsai passing Waffle. There was a Stroll moment. My mistake. But, of course, so much racing action. We've seen so much overtaking in this one. I have to say it's been a very different race to what we saw, I think, in the Tier 4 division earlier today. This one, I think, has been a little bit more intense as far as position exchanges. The other one was a bit more strategical. But it has been a thrilling campaign here as we are on lap 19. Things really drawing down to the wire now. Really drawing down to a close. Cheery within 3/10 of Mr. Sidewinder for that final points paying position. A penalty in it for Waffleorian. A penalty in it for 4 drivers in this top 10 where the points paying positions live. And I have to say, if you're any one of those drivers, you have to be worried. You have to be absolutely worried about where you may just land. Johnny Disco and Larkin. There's Johnny Disco. Larkin. Johnny Disco on the outside as we come through into the chicane. Larkin pushing and holding with what he can. Look at Johnny Disco now, a little bit smoother through on the inside. A very neatly done move for Johnny Disco. And get in there, McLaren. Larkin, Captain Minor. We've seen team exchanges already between the pair of these two, and well, Vlad Putin on the rear of Henners. Surely there's an opportunity here for the Red Bull to take lead of things on a charge. DRS on the rear. Does he have it? Henners pushing and squeezing off that inside. It's not enough just yet for Vlad. Finding a little bit of curb. Henners trying to hold everything he can with as much track position as he can. Combined YouTuber takes a 3-second time penalty as Waffleorian and Jay Forsai get loose. Sidewinder really now looking to take advantage, and he does take advantage on the mediums of Jay Forsai through into 9th position. Man, the race, as I said earlier, that just keeps on giving. If you're a driver in this race, I have to say you must have had a fun time. Henners has spun. Henners, oh my. He is not going to be happy about that at all. Look at this. He's trying to rejoin. The cars are coming through. They're trying to avoid him. And look at the amount of positions Henners has just lost. Who's this on his outside? That's Paula. Henners sliding all over the place. Henners really needs to rejoin in a safe manner, and those tires surely going to be in a state of their own. Paula now pushing on the rear of the Williams. Trying to find the grip, trying to find the charge on that Sofina rear wing. Henners, oh, I don't know about that one. Paula's into the wall. That was tough to watch. I don't know if Henners should have given that position to Paula there and he should have waited longer. There was still cars coming, or if Paula needed to have a little bit more patience there. I'm not sure. I'm not the steward and I'm not the man to judge, but I'll tell you something. Waffleorian and Sidewinder, man oh man, with Sidewinder ever loose. We're going to jump to Duffeld as he jumps through into 2nd position ahead of Dieg Surf. We jump back on over to Sidewinder and Waffleorian. Here we go. Sidewinder on the inside of Waffleorian as we come through into the chicane, or into Lacombe, excuse me. A little bit of a bigger chicane. We're on the penultimate lap of racing, and the racing has not stopped at all. Jay Forsai, oh my, he's just stepped in it and just barely. He's taken a 3-second time penalty, and this is almost certainly his points done for the day. Very unfortunate. It could still jump his way, but man, oh man, is that ever a tough thing to take on the penultimate lap of the race. Sidewinder has dropped so many positions here, and it's because he has lost his front wing. Oh my. Alrighty, Vlad Putin now leading things on the final lap of this race. He's got some competition though. He's got Duffeld within DRS range. He's got Dieg Surf within Duffeld's rear view mirrors. And how are things going to go? It's going to be all or nothing for these top 3 right now, except Dieg Surf has 3-second time penalty, but the drivers behind him do as well. Does he drop? That's a big question that we'll have the answer to later on, but you can see Duffeld pushing out of that DRS range just over 1 second now, the gap between Duffeld and Dieg Surf. He has all of the ability now to go and hunt down Vlad Putin. We're going to have interviews with the top 3 if they're available after the race, and of course a raid. So don't go too far once the checkered flag is drawn. Cheery Hanners having a battle on the rear of Jay Forsai and Waffalorian. Jay Forsai looking at him with everything he possibly can as we come down the hill. Oh, was he ever loose there? That could have been the race over, let alone the penalty in the equation. Duffeld still within a second of Vlad Putin. Dieg Surf within a second of Duffeld. Captain Miners just picked up 3 seconds. No, 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 that's not what he wants to do. Deng Wu's taken 3 seconds as well. That's not what you want to be doing on the last lap of a race. Henner's charging down Graz, but we are going to jump on over to Mr. Vlad Putin. Vlad Putin, ladies and gentlemen, the Canadian that started this race on pole. Who'd have thought after the issues he's had to jump through, but he will take the race win here in Spa for round 4 of the Americas Tier 2 division, and it's Duffeld who will follow him through to the second slot, and Dieg Surf at the end to collect the final 3rd position on the podium. What a race, and it will be Henners to collect Graz at the end of this one. Where does everybody shake up? Vlad Putin first, Duffeld second, Dieg Surf will be 3rd. It's Larkin and Captain Miner 4-5. Johnny Disco 6th. Henners finishes 7th after he led a great portion, a great scene, just a great chunk of this race. Vlad Putin and him battling it out, and he spun. He had that issue. He drops to 7th. Graz, Cheery, both points for the Ferraris, and it's Jay Forsai on debut here as a full-time driver. He started in 9th, but he finishes with a point, and he'll be happy about that, I think, in the end, coming back. Waffalorian, 11th, 12th for combined. Sidewinder there in 13th, and Dengwu will be the last driver now to the line in the Alpine. But man, oh man, what a race this has been. What a race this has been. And if you enjoyed it, help us out. Hit that follow button because we got more racing coming again tomorrow and all week long. And, well, all the time, if I'm honest. Captain Miner with the Game Awarded Driver of the Day. Congratulations to him. But there he is, Vlad Putin on the top step, the Canadian. I'm happy about it, I have to say. I'm a Canadian, so I have a little bit of a bias there. Who could blame me? It's always great to see your fellow countrymen on the top end. And just a great, great campaign overall here for round 4. There it is from pole position with the win and the fastest lap to boot, a 42.784. What a drive. What a drive from the Red Bull. Duffeld 6th to 2nd here. 43.581 is his fastest effort. And now we have Mr. Dieg Surf. He started this race in 3rd. He finishes this race in 3rd. 2 stops for the majority of this grid this evening. And wow, just a great, great campaign here. I cannot wait to see how the Americas Tier 1 division really kind of complements this one tomorrow. I don't know how they can beat it. I think they'll be able to complement it. I don't know. It's just been a thrilling campaign. Tier 3 tomorrow as well. We're going to get interviews in just a second. There's the classification. Wow. Just a great race. Great race. I hope you all enjoyed it. I definitely did. I definitely did. Alrighty. Take a look at how things are going here. Don't know if Dieg Surf will be available or not. Waiting for anyone that is going to be interviewing to jump themselves into our interview waiting room. Once they've done so, we'll get ourselves into some interviews. I'm going to jump in now. It's actually our 2nd place position finisher. It is Mr. Duffeld coming through to another podium. Well, it's a very, very wild finish to this race. I can't recall if you've had a podium yet. Oh, you know what? My mic in Discord's muted, so I need to really get my stuff together here. Duffeld was muted. I don't know if you're able to hear me on stream there, but it was a very, very, very tough race today. Spa, so much intense battling, so much intense racing. How are you feeling after such a turbulent race?
Hello, I am still nervous, but it was a good race. Sorry for my bad English,
No,
like
it's
Chico Perez,
okay.
but I am chilling now. The race was so intense. The safety car almost fucked up my strategy, but I wanted to keep pushing and I won the race by the way, but Vlad was a good pace. So that's it.
Well, it was a great race from you. Do you have any messages for the viewers in your native language? I think there's some people that want to see if you have anything to say here after a great race.
Ya, got one, not by word. So vamos con Chetumare que ganamos. Vamos Gabo, vamos Chibi. So that's it.
Thank you
Thanks.
very much, Duffeld. Congratulations, and we'll see you next week.
Say ya. Thank you a lot. Bye.
That was Duffeld, everybody. I don't know if we're going to be having any other interviews tonight. I'm just going to wait for a moment just to see. That was Duffeld, and hopefully everyone that is cheering him on understood the message. I see Gabox there. Very, very happy. And Gazieg confirming that we are not going to be having any other interviews this evening. So that will be it for our America's Tier 2 coverage. We won't be hearing from Mr. Vlad Putin or Diego Surf. But wow, that was just a thrilling, thrilling race. And thank you to everybody who joined in on the broadcast this evening. We're going to head off with a raid, but of course, before we do, I'd just like to take a second to let you know about the racing that will be happening tomorrow and later this week. As tomorrow, we'll be back at Spa, 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for our Tier 3 racing action. And then later on in the evening, 6 hours following the race start for that, we'll be back with our America's Tier 1 division. Of course, that Tier 3 racing, 8 p.m. BST, 9 p.m. CET, and again, for the America's Tier 2, that will be at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 2 a.m. British Summer, and 3 a.m. Central Europe. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in tonight. My name is Stryfium, and, well, it's been a great solo cast. Greatly appreciate you all coming through and enjoying the race with me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope you all did. And, well, we'll see you all tomorrow and in the races to come here on the Misfits Racing League Twitch channel. Ciao, ciao. Ciao, ciao for now.